why don't we just do a roll call as we call our Landmarks Commission meeting for May 18th to order. I'm Matt Christensen.
Jesse Embry.
Jeff Ringer.
Susan Fails. All right. So we only have one item on the agenda is to discuss the historic houses of worship for June 16th for the historic home tours this year. And Jeff, I don't know, but I can't remember, are you aware of what we're doing?
Mhm.
Okay. I mean, obviously with what I just said is fairly self-explanatory. So I sent an email out earlier with is it 9 churches that we had discussed. Jesse, do you remember, did I capture all the churches we had discussed?
Right.
Did I miss any?
No.
Okay.
I had 10, but that's because I had the same building listed twice.
Yeah, okay. Well, and I had St. Francis on there as well as the Fourth Ward Chapel. But we decided not to do the Fourth Ward and we took St. Francis off since there's no point looking at the condos.
Right.
Susan, do you want to make a case for the first ward?
Well, I wasn't here, like I said, for that
Sure.
discussion that you had, but it seemed like in terms of one other LDS, that even though it's not exciting, it's very different architecturally.
Yeah.
The second south First Ward Chapel. And so I wondered about including it.
So at one point it was not going to do any LPS. So
Yeah. Well, how many do we have?
Just one,
No, I mean total churches.
9.
9.
So
So the Fourth Ward,
You took off, right?
yeah, we took the Fourth Ward off.
where was the Fourth Ward?
That's the one that's the condos next to Smith's.
Oh, okay.
It used to be the reception center.
Oh, okay. Oh, the reception center. Okay.
So you kept the one down on 500.
Yeah, on Fifth West.
West.
Yeah.
I always get those mixed up, I think.
Oh,
And the others.
what helps me is it's an odd number and Fifth West is an odd number.
Nice.
Otherwise, yeah, I'm with you. Because the other one's on First West and it's still even odd. Anyway. So how are we feeling about this list, I guess, is the
Were you going to contact the churches?
I've contacted Jason. I were going to do it. I failed to send Jason any information because, like I said, it's been a busy couple of weeks. We were going to have St. Mary's. Was that you that was talking to them?
Bill was
Yeah.
not. Bill was not.
Yeah, Bill and I have
Okay.
talked with Reverend Susan over there. And she's fine to have us come. Is she fine or excited? Excited about what we're doing. Okay, good.
I went to the Thursday Easter
Were we
service.
planning to have, were we wanting people to speak or were we covered with
So we were going to have Jesse be a speaker.
Well, you were going to check with what's his face.
Alan. I actually saw him. He was in our neighborhood this last week. And I did.
What is this?
He'd be happy to if you want him to. I'll let him know.
Did you talk to the pastor of the congregation?
No. I've been back and forth, but I haven't gotten the pastor's information. They actually want to know if we want to have a choir sing at the reception, at the presentation thing. And we could. We'd never done that before, so I wasn't sure. I wanted to just kind of bring it up in here and say, is that something we would like them to do, or should we just have the speeches?
Well, if the choir's willing to sing, they're nice. I went to the Easter sunrise service there.
My only wonder is if it is, like when we've had the receptions at the First Ward building, we've been pretty careful not to be too religious because it's a civic experience.
Well, they're,
And I might be overthinking this, so
and the choir is supposed to be interdenominational.
Sure.
So, the only reason for having, the main reason for having the choir is more people.
sure.
That's true.
It is a very small choir though.
And we are doing religious houses of worship, so I
Sure.
think it fits, you know. Yeah.
Okay, that's great. I'll say yes then.
And so So we need to decide who the speaker is going to be.
Yeah, so
And I thought, I mean, if the pastor's willing to speak, I think he ought to be able to.
I think he's willing. From what I gathered, yes.
He might know.
I just haven't specifically had a chance to
his opinion.
confirm that.
And I was willing to let him even mention his fundraising.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't mind that
There was
either.
an article in the newspaper today
Hmm.
about it. They got a pipeline grant.
Oh, yeah,
cool.
they're trying to get an additional 50,000.
Right.
It's been offered to them, and they'll go to the dump otherwise. It's coming out of a Salt Lake.
It says that it's
Church.
Salt Lake Church and never said what church it was.
So they can either get the organ for 50,000 or they'll just throw the organ away.
The current owners,
Yeah,
yeah.
the current owners will just throw the organ away. But it apparently needs work. That's $50,000.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking I'll either give you my swing set or I'm for, $100. But if you don't, I'll just throw it away. Okay, so if it has to be repaired, that makes more sense. Okay.
What was that mine?
Yes, ma'am.
It's just that Jeff has a nice new
I didn't know how my ring.
peppy ringtone.
Set is out.
Okay,
So did Alan know things that he wanted to talk about? What was this?
we didn't talk much about it. I just mentioned that this is the kind of the theme. I brought his name up and he was like, oh, okay, yeah, just let me know.
So you're speaking, right, Jess?
It was Alan and me.
Oh, over. So we're not sure.
So I'll contact Alan today and see if that's something that he's,
So it's not something it's something I can do.
sure,
If he has some particular more knowledge than I do,
sure,
then he might be a better person.
right.
I'm just sort of a,
I'll find out today or tomorrow and I'll let you know.
Okay.
For sure.
so I had done the little history writings,
Great. For each of the buildings?
each of the buildings.
Sweet.
So but it's very rough, so, and I think they should be all about the same length, so.
Yeah, I think so too.
But I don't do architectural descriptions, so.
Right.
We will need to find something to do architectural descriptions.
Okay.
Is that something Alan?
We can ask him to. We can ask him to, yeah. And you sent that to us?
I sent that to you.
Okay.
Today,
Yeah, right. So I can go through and edit it if you want, just to kind of look through to make sure that they're the same size.
yeah, well, and there was not that, it was just picking things up.
Yeah. No, but well, I'm thinking of just making sure they're all about the same length.
And the third board obviously is way too long.
Right. And then I'll send it to Alan and ask if he can add anything. The other question is awards.
That's just what I was thinking of.
Well, there probably was, it's coming up pretty soon, so we also need to talk about the details of producing something to hand out.
Right. So Dustin, did I might have dropped the ball on this one too. Was I supposed to send you the list of awards or did you have that already? Do you remember?
Because we had some lined up that were all ready to give about 4 years ago.
Yeah, we did.
And,
And then we just COVID and then
yeah, exactly.
it didn't work out.
It seemed like we talked about some, I don't know that we ever finalized.
So we were going to do a stewardship award for the state hospital for what they've done. We were going to do a restoration award for the county courthouse. There were 2 adaptive reuses for the Mighty Baker and the Bright building.
Yeah.
And then the Stephen Hales Award to Tom and Anders Taylor.
That was from before, right?
Yeah, that was the last time we had awards. That was actually 2018.
Yeah, we haven't given any of them. so-
Yeah, nothing since then. So I guess the question then, I think the Mighty Baker is probably irrelevant now
It's no longer the Mighty
because it's not the
Baker.
Mighty Baker.
Well, it wasn't him. It was he wasn't the owner of that building. It was the building itself and how it's been.
Adaptive
revitalized.
used, right?
Yeah.
So are there other buildings or people that we ought to be recognizing? I mean, this is almost 5 years later. That would be more relevant.
Talked about amendment hall.
Oh, yeah.
I think all of them are still relevant, but I don't think the timing is
I
an
don't think
issue on
Mighty,
any
I
of them.
don't think Mighty Baker's that.
Well, I don't care that much. When we first talked about it, Josh was there then, and,
Yeah, he was kind of the one that pushed.
well, no, actually, I think both of us did.
Oh, did you?
Because
Okay.
it really had improved. That building has really improved. But I'm not adamant about that, but I think all of them are relevant. I don't think it's a timing issue.
Talked about the community church, since we're gonna be there, and they just got on the national register.
So they actually asked if we could do a presentation to give them, to make that official.
So they are officially on the National Register now.
Yeah, so I don't know if someone from the state.
Yeah, I'm not sure
did
either,
that.
but at least put they're on the landmarks register now, right?
They're not on the local. they're on the
No,
national.
they're
Oh,
not.
we haven't put them on the.
No, that's something.
For some reason, I thought we had. Okay. Anyway, they asked if we could present something, and I was non-committal because I wasn't quite sure what we could actually do.
Someone from the state should be invited to present it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could reach out to Corey, state, see
If you would, that'd be great.
Or if there's someone else they can send.
If we
If
can
we're
do
doing
it.
an award, then present that award and then mention,
Yeah,
or that's the
right.
reason for the award.
The Stephen Hills Award to Tom and Anders. Is Tom going to be home from his
No.
gallivanting?
We will not be home. Anders will be home.
Okay. Should we wait till Tom's around too, you think?
Honestly,
Because I would think so. Okay. So we'll need to, so for the Stephen Hales Award, other ideas that. So let me back up. So Amanda Night Hall, that would be adaptive reuse, I think, right?
And it's more recent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As for the community church, would that be restoration or stewardship?
Could go either way, I would think.
I mean, it's not necessarily restoration. I think maybe stewardship, but I'm not.
How do you define stewardship?
Well, I don't know. That's just it. I mean, restoration is something I think where they're going to make it look like it did, but that's not necessarily what their plan is. In part because it's been added on several times, so it's
Yeah.
hard to make it look. Maybe we're gonna make it look like it is. It's gonna be a lot smaller, which isn't what they were, which isn't the direction they want to go.
They just put a
Actually,
new
much
roof
bigger.
on it.
Right.
They were saying that the Easter service that they hoped it would replace the tabernacle for community events.
Cool.
Not quite the size of the
No,
tabernacle.
not quite.
Even if they enlarged, the plan was to enlarge the worship
acoustics.
area. Because they, to be able to put the pipe organ in, they have to change how it looks a different.
So maybe stewardship then
I like stewardship.
for them.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been continuously operated. They have been stewards of this property.
Yeah.
And it was interesting that how the churches combined, so they didn't need to just have one Protestant. They need to have all these Protestant churches, so they all united into that church.
Right. Right.
I wrote about it in the blurbs.
Do we have a restoration? Do we want to do the county courthouse for the restoration? That's who we had listed before. Should we do them, somebody else, somebody as well as? Bill or Dustin, do either of you have a sense on restoration projects that we ought to be considering?
No, it's a big one, but it's been a number of years.
Yeah.
Right.
I said, no, the reviews for the courthouse too.
What's
Well,
that?
that's what we're
That's
talking
what
about,
the
the
courthouse was filed.
But we didn't recognize them, so,
Yeah, we haven't yet.
even though there's a time lapse here,
Well, we could still do it.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, unless there's a good alternative.
Yeah, and I'm just not.
Who is the person or that
Who would
received the
recognize? Yeah.
award? Yeah, who
Yeah. it's
was involved?
Josh start that one. So,
Yeah, if we could, because we need somebody to
Yeah.
hand this off to. Of course, we still need to get awards put together too, and a
Yeah.
presentation on each of these.
Are we overlooking anything in the downtown core here? Has there been anything that city's been particularly?
we've had like facade grants, things like that, that have, a lot of those have been. How we did the fruit crush building, the millinery. That's a big one. More recent one. He's done actually a few, so most of them. But he's sold that. Done it too, so, but it's those other items, so.
I'm afraid we're headed for battle on the Los Hermanos
Really?
building because they're claiming that fire damage is so extensive they can't save the facade at all. Which I'd like to try to find this, somehow get a second opinion on that. If they could save the tabernacle.
Yeah, at a great deal of
I know,
expense.
we're just talking the facade. Wow.
But they're making that claim, it has been bought by another group and they're making that.
So this is a different group than the one.
So
that
the
came to talk
presentation
to
we
us.
heard, whenever that was, a year or two ago, that
I
was a
think
different
it's
group.
changed hands at least once since then.
Really?
And when that guy came to talk to us, he didn't talk to the people in the old library, so
Really?
it was an interesting meeting. I think that's funny.
If we could just find out who might make a presentation to. the
In terms of
courthouse.
courthouse.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we don't have good alternatives. That was a great project.
What about Stephen Hale's award?
What was that one for again?
Just general,
So, kind of a long-term commitment to
Yeah.
restoration. and
Just
historic
recognition for
preservation.
their citizenship and preservation, kind of. We wanted to honor Steve somehow, and
The only person who's received it so far
Callie,
was Callie.
yeah. And that's why we thought Tom and Anders would be a good fit, since they've done so much with the Bright building and
Startup.
startup.
Yeah.
And maybe there's nobody besides Tom and Anders that we can give this year. I mean, I don't know.
We don't have to give it.
Yeah, we don't.
No, we don't have to, but Tom would. It'd be nice if Tom were here, but
Katie's here.
Katie's here, Andrews is here.
The home that just got put on the local register a while back when it proposed. Right. In their house.
Hmm.
It's old dairy farm.
All right. Yeah, we could. I don't know if they've done anything.
Well, yeah, they don't have a tracker.
That's not I don't think one for the steep, the hills.
Yeah,
Uh, That would be if we were doing, which we've done on individuals who have
Just check-
taken a home and, a restoration kind of thing.
just trying to think of the most recent ones.
well, you're his brother-in-law. What do you think?
I think we should do it.
Okay,
I think if we want to give the award, we should do it. If
Okay.
The commission feels like now it's waited a year. But if I think we want to,
and to be clear, for the record, the relationship between Jeff and the Taylors has nothing to do with the award. We would be happy if Jeff was not on the commission and we would still give it. No, that's not. I didn't say
I could
that.
be right.
Okay,
I think giving the award is as much to recognize Steve.
Yeah.
Than it
I
is.
think that's.
I think so too. And of course, as Susan has pointed out multiple times, one of the benefits of giving award is it puts more people there.
And then the chairs,
It
yes.
brings people there.
Mhm.
So, okay. So as far as the write-up goes, well, back up on the awards. In the past, Josh has produced something.
Yeah, there's a template. God, I don't know if I have I guess the official names of each of the awards, but I've seen a couple of those.
Okay.
In some of the old files, so if I don't have them, I'll just give it to you and ask for what those are, and then who we're given to, and then.
Okay.
But as far as the write-up,
I don't know. Susan, could you look at doing something?
I don't know. Not right now.
Okay,
Got some company coming in the next couple of.
sure.
So do we need a long write-up or? do we
No.
just- I think you just announce the award
Yep.
and just hand the award to them.
That's it.
I think that's all you
You
need.
you basically need something that says what the award is.
Why?
Yeah, and so this is why they're getting it.
I don't
Doesn't have to be.
I don't think we need much of that. just-
Well, I think we do,
Okay, so
because
I-
when we used to hand them off, it never made any sense when I was in the audience to why this person was getting this
Right.
award. I think you need a 2-minute thing at least that says what the award is and why they're receiving it.
Right.
So it's never good, it's never more, it's never just 2 minutes. That's the problem.
Well, but
The awards end up taking a lot. of
the
time.
awards, the last time we did it, which was ages ago, I think it was when. Paul was at the-
2017.
Yeah, they were extremely well received.
Yeah, it was really
And
good.
it was really a good,
I thought they were way too long.
oh, really?
So, yes.
I don't know. I had
I think it
people
was-
come up to me.
It was about
afterwards
10 or
to say it
15
was
minutes. I don't think that's too bad.
The total
But well, that
thing,
party, because Paul talked for so long.
Paul did talk for a while.
Too long.
yeah, but I could listen to him forever.
Okay, Jeff, do you want to write some up? Do you want me to write something up?
Let's you and I get together.
Okay.
Just work something.
I'd pick on Jessie, but she's written.
She's
A little bit
she's
already.
done her job. Yeah.
And I don't, we didn't have those awards when I was on the
Sure.
commission before, so I'd say, like,
And I think I might have the language that we used in my files from the last time that we can just kind of
If you find it, send it.
do an adaptive reuse.
Adaptive reuse.
So,
Right award.
okay. And then if you can find out, Dustin, who to contact for the county courthouse.
Yeah.
So we know who to contact, and I'm happy to contact those people for this.
and you're gonna talk with someone in the state historical society, right, too, Dustin?
yes, about the
About,
community church,
about depending on the award.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, the award of that. Yeah.
if we want them presenting the award or.
Yeah, if they have something that they do.
Uh,
Yeah, and if not, when we give them the stewardship award, we can just mention that this also has happened.
That's
But it'd
the
be
reason
nice.
why they're.
But it'd be nice if we had
It'd be
some.
nice if someone, they could say this is the landmark.
Yeah.
It's now on the National Register.
Yeah, for sure.
That's one of the reasons why they're getting. the
That's one of the
awards, because
reasons.
they're
Yeah.
Pushing for preservation, they're doing those steps, and that's a big step. in that
Yeah.
endeavor.
So then, as far as the PDF, the printout thing, I guess you basically just need text,
Yeah, I'll just need to know
and then,
if he's got a template from all these, the different categories of awards, or I've just seen a couple of.
well, no, I'm talking,
No,
now,
No, 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 we've changed.
I'm
the
sorry,
way-
we've switched gears. I'm talking about the thing that you did last year, for like the
Yeah.
actual tour.
Yeah, so I will make a map with kind of showing all the
Great.
locations. And I've got, I was thinking it would be nice to have some photos, if we have historic photos, so I found a few, but only for like, I guess, a few of the sites.
Hmm.
So I don't know if you guys are good at finding historic photos and like the libraries, because that's where I was kind of searching.
I could look around.
So I can, yeah.
I've
And
got
then
the
I
list
took the
here.
ones I found, I went out and I tried to do some photography so we can see about the logo.
Oh, cool.
So I'm willing to do that if we get historic photos until we run out of time.
Okay.
So at least we'll have a historic photo maybe, or a current photo.
Yeah, I would think that if we can't, do we want to do historic photos? If we can't get historic photos for all of them? Will it matter, or should we just do current,
I think it doesn't matter.
I don't think,
or should we do both?
Nothing to do.
whatever we can
Whatever
get, I
happens.
think.
Okay, great.
Right.
Whatever we can get, whatever we can kind of fit in the layout, because I don't know.
So there's 9,
Well, and
Buildings.
So
these
we
are-
got rid of the fourth. Right?
Yeah.
The I did not do it yet because no one responded, but so the First Baptist Church was once the Grandview Ward. You want information about when it was the Grandview Ward, which I can easily do when I was up in Salt Lake.
Yeah, we probably ought to at least have a sentence. If we can.
No, I can, look at minutes and see what, which
Okay.
sometimes helpful, and sometimes not.
Sure.
And then our plan is to have it just be a digital.
Digital,
download.
yeah.
We're not printing.
No. Not at all.
And how are people gonna access that? We're gonna have a QR code form. What are we doing?
So we can do a QR code for that night, but it'll also be on the Freedom Festival website and our website. And on the Freedom Festival magazine that's going to be coming out next month or this month, whenever at the end of this month, it directs readers to either our site or their site.
And I put together just a little article that went out or that will go out, there has, or will go out with the utility.
Oh, cool.
So
Great.
Just saying when the event is. what
Awesome.
we're doing this year. So-
It's just the one night, or
Just the one night, June 16th.
that's
But the tour.
But the tour, they can go whenever they want. Because
that's Thursday.
Thursday night.
Just let me know if it's on.
Yeah.
That was a question I
That's
could
what I
answer
got
with
about wedding
with
stuff.
St. Mary's thing right there. After the event, are we sending people out?
We can,
Or-
yeah, if they're open to that. Or we can have them go before,
I mean, they were willing to have someone there at the
Right.
church.
like a docent type of thing.
Yes, but not necessarily giving.
Yeah, tours,
Tour.
just someone to let people in.
And where was this at?
At the St.
St.
Mary's,
Mary's.
one just across the street.
But if we wanted to steer away from that and just say, we're just gonna have it be a site on the tour, we don't have to have someone there. That's.
I think we can just say that night, if people want to walk over, they can.
I'll let them know, because what time would that starts at 7?
7. 7.
Starts at 7, what time do you think they should have someone there?
I think it'd be easier to have somebody there beforehand.
I would think so
Yeah.
too.
I would think
So
so.
they don't have to wait in case the thing runs over.
The only issue with that is
How do you let people?
how do you let
know?
people know?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Or should we just?
because I think it's a good idea.
Well, if they're looking at the other churches. I just think no one's gonna go over unless someone's gonna stand there with. nothing coming.
Sure, no, I know, I agree.
And we're having refreshments or,
So maybe we just not worry about it.
I would say just treat it like all the rest and have it be a site on the tour, but not.
So sidewalk
have
tour.
someone be
Yeah,
there.
let's do that. That's fine.
Just because, yeah, if it's before or after, it could be too early or too late.
So are we changing the name of the tour this year?
Yeah.
Historic home.
Historic Houses of Worship Tour. Although I think in the magazine, they want to do historic homes of worship.
Oh.
That's
I was just wondering if you were.
So, yeah. But yeah, absolutely. So are you guys okay with that if we don't do the internal?
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Okay. What else do we need to, so Dustin, we just need to get you this information and then you can start filling in the
Yeah, I'll just put it all
and design or
together.
whatever it is that you use.
Yeah, and then if I can get historic photos.
Okay.
Got one of the community church, St. Mary's, the 3rd Ward. Some of the others.
So do you have something of those? So it's the others that you're.
Yeah.
I'll look.
So there's some pictures in here.
Which book is that?
Yeah, what book are you looking at? Huh.
This is the ladies my volunteer.
Protestant and Catholic Churches of Provo. It's kind of cool.
So you sticker inside it.
Some of them don't look like,
Kind of quality.
well, not quality, but it seems like the photo that you would get on the sidewalk would be just as,
better.
would just as good as what they
It
have.
hasn't changed that much.
Yeah,
Well, I imagine not everyone's gonna physically go on the tour, they might just download the thing.
just read through it. Yeah,
Especially as it isn't really a walking
yeah.
tour.
It's not, nothing's
It's
like
all over
close
town.
by.
Yeah.
If you want to look at the pictures in that, Dustin, I'll loan you that book.
Okay.
It's from the BYU library. Haven't checked out forever,
Yeah, I mean, if we can find.
6 months, then I can renew
originals,
it.
maybe the other ones, those work best, especially if I'm doing a re-photography on it, then it's a lot.
Do you-
better to have.
Do you want to keep it?
I guess,
If we don't, if there's ones that we don't find a digital version that.
Jesse or Susan, do you know, did Provo ever have anything approximating a synagogue for the few Jewish families that were around? Have you ever heard anything?
Not that I'm aware of.
Me neither. I was just curious.
I think they go up to Salt Lake.
Probably did.
Seems like I heard that, but I don't remember if that was speculative reasoning or not. Okay, is there anything else we need to cover then?
So you're gonna edit my write-ups.
Yeah, I'll just go through and try and condense it, make sure they're all about the same length.
So there are, the biggest problem is the third ward.
Just because,
There's
The
a lot of
biggest?
info.
Because it was a previous write-up.
oh, I see.
And there
You
is a little-
also said you needed.
and there's a lot about the architectural stuff.
Oh, okay.
But the others don't have the architectural.
And there's a little bit on the
Who are
art.
we gonna get to do that?
We can ask Alan.
Alan.
Alan, that's right.
Oh, okay, great.
So the fifth west building, the address is actually on
100.
First North.
Apparently.
CD at 470 West First North. That's the,
Yeah.
But I wouldn't think it's 470 west, because wouldn't 470 west be on,
Yeah. it should be.
Doesn't
It should
seem
be
like the right
5.
address.
It should be
15
5
or something like that.
Right
Yeah.
behind.
yeah,
Yeah. that doesn't
See, that
sound right.
seems odd.
that doesn't seem. Anyway, that's a good point.
Let's make sure we have the right address
Yeah.
on there.
Yeah, that would be good.
Yeah, when I wrote that, I just looked at it, and I wrote down, I was like, that seems off, but okay, keep moving. Okay, anything else we need to cover then?
When do we want to
So
have?
it would be,
I guess we want to have it all done, obviously, before the thing. Was there another deadline?
I think ideally by the 1st of June,
coming
For
very
the
soon.
next 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Just because, in part because the magazine's going out around then. And it's unlikely that if people go to the website and they don't see it, it's likely that if they go to the website and there's no PDF to download, they probably won't go back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure you're right.
So unless they're really, really, really interested, which might be limited to like 6 people. And maybe not that, I don't know.
So you'll be conducting this meeting,
That's what I was gonna ask. So you.
That's what I've done in the
You're
past.
emceeing the evening, right?
Yeah, I can do
and
that.
then find out how I see myself as a backup.
Okay,
So if Alan is interested,
I'll try and call Alan today and get in touch with him and find out.
and I actually think that we don't necessarily need an architectural description of some of the house buildings, because they're just buildings.
Sure.
The thing that I will do is I will go up to Salt Lake sometime and look up the minutes for the Grandview.
Oh, okay.
board. That's, otherwise, I think I have tried to condense what's in this book into those
Terrific.
things there. And I tried to be kind of uniform with what I did, but
Great.
I didn't want to spend a lot of time if it was also what you were interested in.
Right.
That's-
Well, I'm just thinking we just want to try and make it about the same length if we can.
So that third ward is.
So I'll figure that out.
Out of the world, about each little architectural detail.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome.
And I'll make like a little poster that has a QR code, so at the event, people can just scan that phone and download the.
Great. Yeah, and if you can make the QR code, go directly to the PDF, not to just the website, right? So that way it's one less step they have to jump through. And if possible, I don't know how the city does it, but I'd be interested to see if we could do a counter. See how many people actually download it. The only way I know how to do that is to use a bit link. The way I've done in the past is I use a bit link shortcut for the QR code. And then that actually tells me how many times people are downloading or using the QR code. I used to do that for the bulletin for church. That's how I learned that I stopped doing the QR code, because there were like 3 downloads a week. 2 of them were for me and 1 was from David Otting. And that was it.
And he's gone.
And he's gone. So 2 was me testing it to make sure that it was right.
I'll ask, or I asked about that, if not, I'll ask if you've done it before.
Yeah,
Do you have a way of tracking if they don't use the QR but download from the websites?
We asked that last time. It was an easy way for them to have done that. When we did the one last year.
Really?
and it's not a deal breaker. If you
Yeah.
can't, it'd just be interesting to see
It'd be nice to know.
if what we're doing is actually being used. So, okay, then let's adjourn.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
We were already.
There are no new assignments.
Not for you.
Okay, and you're gonna talk to the churches or you're just gonna have them on the list?
I'm gonna try and get in touch with the churches. Just more of a, hey, just so you know,
Right, that's what I mean.
we're doing this.
I-
Development moving in on 820 more, it's up there on the old.